to our seafood-inspired Afternoon Express Masterclass. Now, Julie, as a fishmonger, fish extraordinaire, are you ready for this next recipe?
For sure, as long as I've got the seafood.
Well, tick. And speaking of which, do you like prawns? Well, then this recipe will definitely have you longing for more. Our Peri Peri prawn pasta is flavorful, spicy, and sure to keep you running back for seconds. Now, Dumi, if it's chili and if it's got some prawns, I'm right there. So what does everyone need to create this masterpiece?
It's quite a simple recipe, Balisa. All we need for it is our pasta. In this case, we're going to be using some spaghetti. You could use any other type of pasta, in this case, macaroni, penne, linguine. It's completely up to you. Just anything that's going to soak up that beautiful sauce. And then because we're going to start with the sauce, and into that sauce, I've got some onion, red peppers, some paprika, some dried herbs, some olive oil, that chili that you absolutely love. Yes. And then we need a bit of crunch at the top, so we're going to add a bit of cucumber to that and just crumble a bit of feta at the end. And then Miss Fishmonger over here will be on prawn duty, because since you've showed us how to clean the prawns, now you're going to show us how to cook the prawns. And then Balisa, luckily, you're just going to help us with adding that additional flavor to our sauce with those spring onions and some zesty lemon.
Brilliant. And you know, Dumi, I'm so glad you brought up the fact that Julie has taught us how to clean a prawn, so I'm going to make sure that I was well in attendance. Hopefully I get 100%, and I'm going to show you that I was listening. You've already put aside a prawn for me to try. Oh, Mzansi, wish me luck. All right, you spoke about the spine.
Yeah,
right?
Cutting the back of it.
Cutting the back, yes, cutting the back. See, I was already on it. Oh, it actually cuts quite easily.
Quite easy.
I thought I was going to struggle cutting this open, but not at all. Don't worry. We are sanitized, our hands are clean, and we are ready for action. Now, this is the part I'm nervous for. Trying to take out that intestine.
Just put your knife in there and you'll feel that you'll see the intestine, and then just...
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Yay! I did it! And on that note, let's get cooking! I've got my hype crew and I love it. Okay, Julie, let's get cooking. You've already shown me how to take this out. Okay, so there's excess...
You can just rinse that.
I can just
rinse it out, yeah.
Okay, so as I'm about to do that, Dumi, can you just tell us... detail is specifically what's going into that sauce that you're creating.
Awesome, Palisa. So these layers we've got over here, we've got some onions that we've got at the very bottom, we've got some red pepper, we've got some paprika that we've also added in there, we've got some herbs, and into this I'm going to chop a bit, just roughly chop some red chilies that's going in here. Palisa, I know you like your heat, so I have, because all of us are going to eat this, I've taken out some of the seeds and that membrane, because we don't want to, you know, get our mouths exploded with too much heat. And just a little bit of oil goes in there, and I'm adding some vinegar just for that zinginess that we love whenever we have sauces like this. And then before it goes into our pan, I'm just going to blend our sauce up, and then we'll toss everything together with the prawns that Julie's making for us. So I'm just going to ask for a second while I whiz this up.
Okay.
There we go.
Julie, how hot must your pan be before you put all the prawns inside?
So you want to get your pan warm or hot to get started. You want to give the prawns a nice good rev when you're cooking them. And you just want to be careful not to overcook the prawns. I put some butter and oil in here because you don't want the butter to burn. So the oil is going to prevent the butter from burning when you're cooking them.
Okay, I like that. Now, Dumi, does it matter that the rest of my ingredients for that sauce isn't in just yet?
Not at all, Palisa. You know what I love about such dishes, and also because I love my garlic? I want that additional flavor of garlic at the very end. So I'm going to let the sauce cook down, and then as we add all the other ingredients to it, then we add the garlic as well. So the garlic not only gives us the flavor, but it also absorbs all the flavors of everything else we've put in there. So when the prawns and the pasta go in is when I'll add the garlic as well, just so that those last few ingredients cook together.
Okay, garlic, spring onion already cut. Julie, do you mind passing that on to Dumi? And then I'm going to get started with the lemon. Now, I do not know a seafood dish that does not have a whole lot of lemon to accompany it. So, Chef, do you want to, or rather Julie, you see we've got someone who's like a specialist in any type of field, especially in the kitchen. I almost want to give them the top level of expertise, which is a chef. But when it comes to adding this acidic flavor to fish, what is it about it that makes it such a perfect accompaniment?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I just think the flavor of the lemon and the butter and the garlic all just goes so well with seafood. Growing up, we didn't actually eat a lot of lemon with our fish. It's something that I've learned now in the last couple of years. So it's interesting for me the lemon flavor with fish.
I like that. Okay, we're trying something new, but a lot of people, this is something that is age-old. So on that same note, being able to play with different flavors in the kitchen, today we are using prawns. Do you want to give us, first of all, an understanding between the difference of a prawn and a shrimp?
So shrimps are smaller, the bodies are smaller, and they have less legs, and they're a little bit more curved. So these are definitely prawns. Shrimps would be about that size.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even smaller.
Okay, so then because we are using prawns, can I use maybe lobster, for example, or any type of other shellfish in this recipe?
I think, yeah. I mean, this basic pasta recipe will go with any seafood. I wouldn't use the West Coast lobster at the moment because they're on the sassy red list, but you could use the South Coast lobster. Mussels would definitely work very nicely.
Okay. Chef, can I please ask you to just get started on that lemon?
Yeah?
Just as Utumi is helping out there. So Utumi, on the pasta side, how's it looking?
It's looking good, Balasa, and I just want to touch on something that Julie mentioned here. Can you see how beautifully cooked her prawns are? So
Yeah.
I just want to give people a tip whenever you're cooking prawns to make sure you just keep that in mind. Whenever you're cooking your prawns, you want to make sure they do not form a C. So this is not what you want. You do not want them to be like this because in essence this means they've overcooked. So you want them to form more of a U shape. So if you see the difference between these two, this one is perfectly cooked because you still have some juiciness in it. This, on the other hand, is a little bit more overcooked, and you don't want that because that means it's a bit too dry. Okay. So all we want now is to make sure that our prawns stay nice and juicy and soft, and that's why I'm adding them at the very, very end of our dish here. Everything has been cooked down. I'm actually going to turn it down now and let those flavors mellow together. We're adding your spring onion at the very end, and that's our dish, simple and easy, Bale.
Okay. So, Chef, as you are I know Utumi likes a good zest, a good zest on any dish. Now, Tumi, as chef, is about to just use that micro blade or micro planing blade to get that zest out there.
Sure. Yes. Do you want to just pass me the prawns as well? So while she does that, let me just start plopping on all our prawns. And in fact, Balasa, I don't think we're going to take it out of this pot. We're just going to add it all onto this. And Julie, you can actually zest it onto this plate. Okay. And then I'm going to crumble some feta because, Balasa, and I know you love your dishes nice and spicy, but you also like that saltiness of them. You're a savory queen, not a sweet queen.
That's me. And on that note, I mean, that definitely deserves a round of A prawns. To get this recipe, please do visit afternoonexpress.co.za for the full ingredients list. Now it is all about surf, turf and grain in our next recipe, as we're making a super tasty seafood paella when we return.